Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this Jurassic World video, I'm going to show you how to complete the Dolomites Sanctuary on Jurassic mode. I believe the target time is about 1 hour 10, but we're going to get this done in about 50 minutes. So let's get to it. Alright, we're going to start by just removing all of the lakes, ponds, all the water in the map. It's going to make things easier later on if we just clear all this up now. Alright, that's all nice and tidy. So now we want to get a path all the way from the guest entrance down here. And you want to take it up to around, roughly to where I go, as far up the center as you can of this section, keeping it as straight as you can, doesn't have to be perfect. To about here-ish. There we go. So my top tip for this challenge is to be always one enclosure ahead. So you've got plenty of space on this map, so go ahead with the fences, and what I like to do is just get as near to the edge of the map. As you can see with the line keeps changing from red to white. Keep going as along that with your fence and just make one big enclosure, and then we'll split it into smaller enclosures as we get more into it. Another tip here is not to use all of this top corner, so I'm going to start turning the fence down a little bit, as you can see. So yes, we want to keep this corner clear because we're going to put a monorail there later on. So always as well, make sure you're keeping an eye on the time in the bottom right corner. So we've only got around 30 seconds until the first lot of dinos come in. So we will get a split in this fence to get an enclosure for them. And they're only small, so they don't need too much space on here. And while we're here, we might as well go ahead and create a second area for the next lot that come in later on. Alright, there we go. In perfect timing, we can get these delivered into this smaller section. Now, I'm not going to insult your intelligence in this video. For small things like putting a generator in, I may not say exactly when and where you need to do this because you know how to play the game. So stuff like generators, viewing galleries, gates, just copy where I put them. Just put them as near to where I put them as you can. So you want to pop your ranger station roughly where I have. It's, again, kind of difficult to place. It can be a little bit picky sometimes, but again, if you have it near to where I've put it, you'll be fine. Something I did notice with this challenge is the rangers are not very good at their job. Sometimes you might have to manually send them to do their jobs. I'm not sure if it's related to the snow, but either way, I had a bit of difficulty with them. So with each enclosure of new dinosaurs, you want to make sure the ranger team are doing status checks on them so you can get everyone sorted and comfy ASAP. So while you're waiting with these, you can get them some meat, some water, because these ranger teams take so long to scan them.
I will never get tired of seeing another star on our rating. Great stuff!
So these guys are almost sorted. There we go. Cool. Now we can move on to the next enclosure and the next stage. While we've got a little bit of time, we can pop some restrooms and some shelters as well. You don't want to be putting in any shops or anything yet because we haven't got enough customers, there's not enough footfall to make enough money yet. It would just drain the money, so keep it low key for now. So the next two sets of dinosaurs that come in are all going to fit into this section here. It's a big enough space for them all, and they can quite easily cohabit. Alright, so with this extra little bit of time that we've got now, I'm going to go ahead and extend the paths a little bit. So I'm going to get this path to the right now and go as far down the map to this way as I possibly can, keeping roughly to the center again, but we've not got long before these dinosaurs drop anyways. So let's get these in. You see, this is what I mean. This guy needs some help, and they're just sat there, the rangers are just sat there having a mother's meeting or a cup of tea or whatever, so I've got to tell them to go and have a look at them. Okie doke, let's carry on with this path. So you'll see quickly on the map just there where it sort of goes inwards a little bit, where the edge of the map is. I'm keeping the path to the center of that all the way down.
Gallimimus is a sociable animal, but its speed is what stands out to me. The ranger teams are going to have their work cut out for them.
And there we go. That'll do for now. Alright, so we've got plenty of time now. We can pop in some hotels, and now we can pop in some shops as well, because we've got more dinosaurs, therefore more guests will be coming in. To wait for that ranger to move out the way. There we go.
First thing they teach you in the real estate game is location, location, location. I think even the dinosaurs can understand that. So make sure your scenery delivers.
So you probably do already know this, but this is key to getting 5 stars here, so you do want to make sure all of your shops have the guest satisfaction at least 90%, but if you can go for 100%, then it's just going to make things so much easier, so keep checking on those and just advance them, make them better for the long term. So now is a good opportunity to go ahead and place a science center for the research. And go ahead and chuck a control center on the map. Roughly, I pop mine over on the left because it fits nicely, and there is a nice gap there as well for the monorail later.
Any good manager has to know
a
how to
contract.
delegate,
Okay,
and
you may not get the same ones as me, or if
Observe.
any at all,
I'm
but I'm
handing
going to go
this
for the
task to
easiest one
you.
there, just a little boost of funds. And let's pop in our new dinos in this same enclosure, because again, they can cohabit.
From From one management maestro to another, you're doing excellent work here.
So while there's a bit of free time, I just thought with the edge of the map being there, I could extend this enclosure a little bit, so I went ahead and did that.
Asset transportation complete. Asset transported. Asset transportation complete. Confirming asset delivery.
So now the third lot of dinosaurs are in and comfy. Let's get some staff members. So you want to go and have a look at the logistics. So I'm going to go ahead and see who has the highest and confirm those. You probably want to get about 3 members of staff with, again, the highest logistics on their statistics. So I realize here that I don't have enough ground to make sure these dinosaurs are super happy. So I'm going to go ahead and extend their area a little bit so they've got more ground to have better stuff for them. So again, keeping an eye on the time in the bottom right, the fourth lot of dinosaurs coming in, the fourth species, they're quite small so they don't need too much room, so we want to make their enclosure and get that ready for them.
Assets in the air are magnificent animals.
So the next 2 species of dinosaurs coming in, 5 and 6, they are quite big, they need a good amount of space, so we're going to make those 2 enclosures nice and long for them. So around about the 4th drop of dinosaurs, it's a good opportunity to have a look at your research and see if you can start the power station research. I don't at the moment, but it won't be long until we do.
Delivery complete. Asset has been transported. Transportation complete. Get request received. Control underway.
Oh, excellent. I can save my excuses for why this task didn't get done for another day. Great work.
Alright, so we should be able to afford the research now. So there we go, let's get that one in. There we go, that research is complete, so don't forget about that power station, you want to get that in ASAP.
Commencing asset transit. Asset in transit. Asset has been delivered. Transportation complete. Confirming asset delivery. Monitoring assets. Activation confirmed. Course. Keep me posted. Understood. Delivery has been completed. Asset delivered.
So I'm going to go ahead and pop another response facility in since the other ones aren't doing their job very well. Let's pop some more in. So I'm just extending this enclosure a little bit to make sure there's enough space, but again, I'm not going all the way into that corner because we do want to save that space for the monorail later on.
transit. Transit has commenced.
So with this next enclosure, I do end up having to extend it actually. So you can go ahead and make yours longer now. So here I should go down and keep going down. So again, following the path along, not wider. You want to keep it a nice long enclosure instead of what I did. But I'll be adjusting mine later on.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have
So now's a good opportunity to look at getting some research for some medium-sized amenities if you've got the funds for it.
delivery has been completed. Asset transportation complete. Confirmed.
So your funds should be increasing enough now. If you're wanting to, you can pop in a medical facility just in case anyone gets ill and diseased. On my playthrough, it didn't seem to be the case, but if just in case, if you want one, now's the time to do it. So while we're waiting on the next lot of dinosaurs coming in, not this one, the next one, we're going to need a big enclosure. So you want to get plenty of fencing around, as big as you can in this area. Again, roughly to how I have created it.
Assets in the air. Asset transportation underway. Missing animals.
So the research is done on the medium amenities, so let's get some of these popped in. Don't forget that 100% satisfaction level.
Delivery has been completed. Asset delivered. Heading right to the asset now.
Oh, your next performance review is gonna be sparkling. Partly because you're so efficient that I'm considering letting you write it.
So 3 stars is a good checkpoint to get a save in if you're wanting to, in case anything bad does happen in the next segment. Getting a save in means you can come back here, as you know. So let's go ahead and create the next enclosure. This one doesn't need to be too big. Just make sure you're keeping that corner on the left of where we are now. Making sure keeping that clear for the monorail in a bit.
Asset delivery confirmed. Asset has been delivered. Delivery has been completed.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have added a new viewing gallery, ready for you to observe our magnificent animals.
Let's monitor that asset. Setting additional task.
I'm literally spamming place. You can see that it's placeable, but it's just not working. It's so picky. So hopefully this is something that gets fixed day one. Not very good. There we go. It fixed. I wonder which to pick.
Transit has commenced. Asset in transit.
Alright, so the raptors are coming in next, so they want a reasonable amount of space.
The feathered tyrant. Tyrannus. Now this Tyrannosaur ruffled a few feathers when it was first discovered. The overwhelming reaction was excitement though. Just as I'm excited to see this animal in person now. It's amazing.
the fine details of the snow melting is super cool. I was originally looking at this thinking, what is going on with the ground? Is there some kind of texture patch here? But I'm like, no, the sun's out. It's melting. It's really, really clever. Attention to detail. I love it. Bit of a hiccup here. These have managed to escape somehow, but we'll get that sorted pretty quickly. Honestly, I'm unsure why these did break out, so I am going to change the fence and see if that helps going forwards.
Heading to pick up the asset. Asset being transported. Asset transportation underway. Asset transportation in progress. Confirming asset delivery. Asset
Honestly, the staff, they're hopeless. It's sometimes easier to just go in manually and just done. Just like that.
delivery complete. Request received. Asset in transit.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Okie doke, so for the next lot of dinos coming in, we want the biggest enclosure we can get. We've got plenty of space, so we just want to take it all up.
Asset delivered. Asset transportation complete.
Don't forget to add in restrooms and shelters and hotels as well on the further parts of the park. That'll again help with getting up to 5 stars nice and quickly.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your comfort, we've increased the hotel capacity of the park.
Alright, so this section here is what you want to be keeping an eye on for the 5 stars. As you can see, the transport rating is low. So let's get the monorail research so we can get that in. So while we're waiting on the next segment, we can go ahead and widen the paths. The existing paths, you can just use the replace button, and all the paths here, as you can see, they're getting nice and wider for us, for the guests.
On the way for that repair job. Human patrol. Transportation underway.
Looks like our star employee also earned this park a star. I value one of those stars more than the other. But which one? I'll never tell.
Okie dokie, so for the final enclosure for the last lot of dinosaurs coming in, it's a T-Rex, so we want to make this one nice and big for them.
Asset transportation complete. Asset transported. Asset has been transported. Jet coming right up.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have added a new viewing gallery, ready for you to observe our magnificent animals.
So whilst you're waiting for the T-Rex to land, we can get some entertainment facilities in. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this monorail in while we've still got a minute. So we want to get the stations in the corners that we have established.
We've got a sick animal, and no one wants to see that. You know what I do want to see, though? You getting that animal the right treatment.
So I'm not sure what happened here. The station seemed to go underground. Teething problems, I suppose, with the new game. So as we were just told there, we have an unwell dinosaur. My bad on not getting the medical facility. But if things are going to start going wrong, then now is the time, obviously, when it's going to start going wrong, because we're near the end. But it's okay, we still have time to rectify everything and sort everything. So you'll notice as soon as the T-Rex have landed that the objectives have now changed, but we shouldn't be too far off on most of these, so it's just a case of getting all of those completed.
Confirming asset delivery.
Let's have a look at the T-Rex. Oh, look at his footprints in the snow. That's so cool. I love it. Let's have a quick look at the management stats to see. So we need a restroom and shelter. Okay, let's sort that.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your comfort, we've increased the capacity of the park. Ladies and gentlemen, our restroom is now open.
There are no unimportant tasks. Small problems can snowball if they're not dealt with. So let's get on this now.
And there we go, site complete. Amazing. Thank you everyone so much for watching this video. I hope this guide helped you. I know it was a bit of a longer video and there wasn't as much talking in it, but do let me know in the comments if this guide did help you and if you managed to get this done quicker than I did maybe. Be sure to subscribe, like, do all that good stuff, and I will catch you all in the next video.